Okay, today's notes are square root functions and inequalities. Remember to write your name on your notes before you turn them in. Write your name on your notes now. So the parent square root function is, of course, y equals the square root of x. Our domain, let's graph it first. So when we are making a table of values, x and y, numbers that I can take the square root are the ones that I'll plug into x. So I can take the square root of 0. 0 times 0 is 0. So I know it'll start at 0, 0. I can't take the square root of a negative number, or else it would be imaginary. I can take the square root of 1. The square root of 1 is 1. So at 1, 1 is another point. Now, the square root of 2 is an irrational number, so I don't want to plug that number in. Same thing with the square root of 3. But the square root of 4 is 2. So 4, 2, I can plug in. The next one would be 9. The square root of 9 is 3. And that's not on my graph, so I'm going to stop there. But it's going to look like this. And I don't have anything on the negative x side, and I also don't have anything on the negative y side. So my domain here, all my possible x values, it starts at 0 and then goes on until infinity. So x is greater than or equal to 0, or you could write it as 0 with a bracket to infinity with a parentheses. For the range, same thing, but with y. Y is greater than or equal to 0, or bracket 0 to positive infinity. For the intercepts, it's at 0, 0. It crosses at 0, 0, both my x and y intercepts. There is no symmetry here. There's no line of symmetry. I can't cut this graph anywhere. It's not defined when x is less than 0. It's only defined at x is 0 and more than 0. For the end behavior, as x approaches negative infinity, that it doesn't really go towards negative infinity. It really only stops at 0, but so y approaches, or f of x approaches, the closest that it gets is to 0. And as x approaches positive infinity on the right side, f of x is going towards positive infinity. And then for your extrema, minimum or maximum, this point is a minimum value, so there is a minimum at 0, 0. So there are some basic things about the parent square root function. Okay, sketch and state the domain. So in order to graph this, remember, I'll make a table of my x and y values. Numbers that you can take the square root of are 0, 1, 4, 9. So that means that whatever's underneath the square root, which in this case is x plus 4, that means x plus 4 could equal 0. That's the smallest square root that we want. So if x plus 4 is equal to 0, then that means x would equal negative 4. So if I plug in a negative 4, I would get the square root of 0, which is 0. Next, I could plug in x plus 4 could equal 1, because the square root of 1 is 1. And in this case, I would subtract 4, and x could equal negative 3. So when I plug in negative 3 plus 4 is 1, and the square root of 1 is 1. Another number we could make x plus 4 equal is 4. And if we do that, x would equal, subtract 4, so that's 0. So if I plug in x is 0, 0 plus 4 is 4, square root of 4 is 2. Another number, x plus 4 equals 9. So subtract 4, x would be 5. When I plug in 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, square root of 9 is 3. So I'm always going to make what's underneath the radical equal to these numbers in order to sketch my graph. So at -4, 0, -3, 1, 0, 2, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then that would look like this. So sketch the graph, and then my domain, now this graph has moved to the left all the way to -4. So now my domain is not greater than or equal to 0. It's x is greater than or equal to -4. And for the range, it didn't move up or down any, it only moved to the left. So my range stayed the same. Y is still greater than or equal to 0. So there's my sketch of the graph, and here is the domain and range. So this goes back to transformations where A, H, and K, remember that they do the same thing that they have always done. So for your A, if A is negative, that's a reflection over the x-axis. If the absolute value of A is greater than 1, vertical stretch. Absolute value of A is between 0 and 1, vertical compression. If you have x minus h, then h is positive and shifts to the right. If you see x plus h, h is negative and it shifts left. And then if you see plus k, shifts up, minus k shifts down. So this is not different than any other transformations that we've talked about in the past. So without having to graph it and then determine the domain and range, I can actually determine the domain and range from here. Looking at the transformation, it's reflected over the x-axis. I see an x plus 1, so it shifted left 1, and plus 2 means it shifted up 2. So since it's reflected over the x-axis, left 1 and up 2 for my domain, and the range. For my domain, it moved left 1, so x would be greater than or equal to 1, -1. And for the range, since it reflected and it moved up, y would be less than or equal to +2. So this would start at -1, +2, and then I would go down 1 and over 1 like this. 0, if I plugged in 0 into here, 0 plus 1 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. 1 times -1 is -1. -1 plus 2 is 1. We could also take the square root of 4. So x plus 1 has to equal 4. That means x is 3. So if I plugged in 3, negative square root of 3 plus 1 plus 2. This would be negative square root of 4. -2 plus 2, that would equal 0. So when I plug in 3, y is 0, and this would be what the graph looks like. Okay. Now for the inequalities, it's going to be the same thing, except the inequality symbol will tell us what type of line and where to shade. So less than means shade below. And it also means that you'll have a dashed line. Looking at the transformation, it moved right 4 and down 6. So right 4, down 6. A is positive, so we're going to go up and this way. And it's going to be a dashed line, so I'm going to erase some of those there. And then I'm going to shade below, so all of this would get shaded. Okay. Okay, next one here. F of x greater than or equal to. So this is going to be shade above, and it's going to be a solid line. The numbers that we can take the square root of, the first one is 0, so 2x plus 1 could equal 0. If I solve for x here, x would equal negative 1/2. So at negative 1/2, when x is negative 1/2, the square root of 0 is 0. So we'll start right here. Another number that we can take the square root of is 1. So 2x plus 1 could also equal 1. So that in that case, x would equal 0. So when x is 0, we get the square root of 1, which is 1. 2x plus 1 could also equal 4. So 2x would equal 3, x would equal 3/2. So 1.5. At 1.5, the square root of 4 is 2. And that would look like this. Solid line, and then shaded above. So I would shade above here. Okay, last one. Less than, shade below, dashed line. Look at my transformation. So here at -2 and -4. And then a is negative, so it's going to go down. I'm going to go down like this. Dashed line, so I'm going to erase some of this here. And then shaded below. Okay, so those are square root functions and inequalities and how to graph them. Remember to take the square root of numbers that you can that are nice whole numbers, not irrational numbers. So square roots of 0, square root of 1, square root of 4, square root of 9, square root of 16. Those are all numbers you can take the square root of, and they're nice and they're integers. Okay, make sure your name is on your notes and turn those in.